there everyone, and welcome back to Napoleon Total War with the Eras mod. We're continuing here with some extra episodes to keep ourselves busy until we've chosen a new campaign. I must say, fighting the last video's battle, 40 stack, that video is roughly actually 30 minutes. Like actually 30 minutes, which is the target I usually go for. If I'd been using 40 stacks from the start, now although it's made it a little bit harder to do the post-screen or post-battle videos, or sort of cinematic, show you close-ups and so on, has made that a little bit harder. The fact that I'm able to save so much time and still be able to accomplish so much, defeating 40 enemy units, would have been so much. It would have been worth it on such a level. I'd probably be having completed the campaign a month early, given that. So, in hindsight, that was definitely a mistake, not going for 40 stacks immediately. In terms of what happened since last time, I'm not entirely sure what's happened since last time, but we can go over what's going on right now. So we have cleared up quite a bit of the way. So now we've got Suchet here with a 40, or Suchet, I should say, with a 40 stack army moving in, and we also have Napoleon moving this way because Marshal Ney moved really quickly with his 24 unit stack. He moved really quickly through, and he was able to attack and take Danzig after a revolt had taken place here. And the Prussians had moved most of the troops away from the area, and so he was able to very quickly be able to take it. Unfortunately, the Prussians quickly came back, and so now we have quite a few armies now barreling down on Ney. Now he's pretty snug and secure in this little fort. However, how long can he hold out? 4 turns. And then he'll be completely screwed and has to surrender to the enemy. Lucky for him, Napoleon in Suchet is on the way. If we go further down, I decided to move the Polish army ahead of all units recruited. There's still 5 units. They should join this army until they're completely ready. They have decided to go as fast as possible to try and wrestle control of Warsaw from Blucher. So hopefully that will happen soon enough. The Austrians are back at war, which they were moving heavily, as we can see here. They're moving heavily towards the Bavarians, and they also recaptured Olmütz and is now moving down to attack Vienna. Vienna, which has the army there has unfortunately not been given orders to receive troops from the main recruitment. As we can see, all of those troops have moved up here to the north in Saxony. This army, having just taken this, is currently recovering and is not able to move. And even if it was able to move, it would have to move either through this or through this first before it would be able to aid the Viennese or the Italian army that is situated there. So there could be a problem where we would be heavily outnumbered trying to defend Vienna, while we have a good chance of breaking the siege here. Sort of middle of the ground here for the Polish army. The Polish are pretty strong, even if outnumbered. And although I should say, when the Austrians declared war on me again, I decided, you know what, there is nothing really for me to... I can test stuff out. So what I did was, when it came time to respond to their declaration of war and ask whether or not my allies should join in on my side, I decided, you know what, I'll ask them if they'll join. And everyone joined. And I think it somehow clicked. Something happened in the AI and they started moving in a different way. So I've been starting getting actual aid from a number of my allies. We can see a Dutch army right here. Bavarians haven't been moving, but they are about to get attacked. But the Dutch have been moving. We can see the Italians are on the way. So they were before kind of stuck here in the... Is this the Poo River? It looks like Poo. I don't know. They're moving. Some seem to be moving this way, possibly to aiding the Bavarians. Not that I think AI is doing that, but in a roleplay kind of way, we could imagine that they're moving into aid there. While the bulk of the Italian forces are going to aid us Vienna, hopefully. And then the Ottomans. The Ottomans have been moving in as well, or at least they've sort of left their own territory, where we have some make it into the Balkans, which I'm sure the people there are super happy about. But I've also seen, when my spy was in the area, I've also seen the Ottomans actually moving now in force here. Now, unfortunately for them, the Russians got a lot of troops in the area. But at least there's going to be some fighting here. So that I enjoy. At the same time, this army, I should have actually sort of... Now I feel like you guys kind of missed out for once on... Although the battles are kind of sluggish, but just the campaign of this army, because it's so small, and it's been facing heavy resistance, or sort of... There hasn't been a surefire way for me to win every single battle. It has to be... It has, you know, been sort of touch and go throughout. Of fighting here, liberating this, fighting 2 battles. Then going through here, fighting a battle here. Which we were heavily outnumbered with enemy having cavalry and so on. And now to me laying siege to this castle, which they most likely are going to sally out from. Now it's a lot of armed citizenry, but they do have cannons this time around, and this army is not looking good. Like it's been quite the journey, and plus I have no idea what's up here north of this. There could be tons of Russians barreling down upon this army. What I could have done is I sort of was in a choice here of either going for Kiev or going out for Belgorod, which is probably the better choice, even though they've built a huge fort. They've decided to defend that shit town instead of Kiev. But yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. So that's kind of what's going on. Nothing really new with the British. They're blocked down, although the Irish made an attempt with their navy, which was comprised mostly of trade ships, to go in and fight the British. Now the British have sort of, with this sort of renewed conflict a little bit, once Austria declared war again and I mobilized my allies again, they have been moving around quite a lot, but they haven't been able to sort of break through or anything like that. They're still bottled up on their little island, so they're still there, so nothing's really going on there. What I thought we would go ahead and do in there is do some more big battles, and what it looks like for today is there's going to be Napoleon relieving Ney by attacking here and hopefully throwing these guys away. So that's exactly what we want to do. I don't really want to come through the woods though. I would have rather gone in the open, because that would have probably favored me. 3,000 men to start off with against Napoleon's 7,000. So the Prussians are heavily outnumbered to start with. They are going to get reinforced by... It's hard to see there, but I would gather it's about 5,000 men. So in total, the Prussians are about 1,000 men more. However, since they start out with less men, it's gonna be we're gonna probably be able to steamroll this first bit, and then they won't really be able to bring in the troops to recover. Good thing to notice that both the reinforcement army is gonna come up behind this one, so I won't have to worry about my flanks or anything like that, hopefully. And with that, let's go ahead and fight this battle, shall we? And here we are on the battlefield. The two armies are arrayed against each other, and we're about to open fire with the Grand Battery. And there goes the cannons, firing off at the enemy's horse-drawn artillery over on this side, and it looks like we were immediately able to break one of their horse-drawn battery. Now let's see if we're going for the other one as well. I was actually gonna move most of my troops on the right and keep my left as defensive. It seems like the AI is doing the complete opposite, where they're vacating the right side of the field in favor kind of the left. Actually, they're going mostly for the center, it seems right now. I'm gonna continue with my plan. And we're gonna continue to advance my right flank. I've got my own horse-drawn artillery. We're not gonna be as crazy with them as we were last time, where we almost lost them. Batteries can continue to fire as they please. Ah, they seem to have setting headquarters around this little house right here. Well, the general has set his headquarters. I can hear cavalry charging, but I can't see any decisive movements on the field. As there's a lot of troops, we have to keep our eye high up in the sky. But with the troops as they are right now, it's good to take a closer look at what the terrain actually looks like, and I want to shift these a little bit so that they don't fire into the hill. And then I don't want this brigade to fire into the troops in front. So it's two old guard on either side here, with the extra troops on the very flanks, where we got the 85th and veterans and so on that side, where we've got Fusiliers, the only Fusiliers one on this side. Alright, the enemy's Ulan testing what they can achieve against us, and they're realizing it's not going too well for them. I think my artillery focused in on the cavalry there. I would rather you actually now... Normally I don't like to specifically attack a specific unit, because usually that leads to cavalry response. But in this case I don't want the cannons to bounce through my own troops. And I think we should be even a little bit more forward with our advances here as we move forward, bringing the cavalry with us as we move forward. Looks like it's the guns that have rallied. What I'm going to do is, we got a little bit of a high ground right here, which I think has potential towards their center, which is where they're gathering most troops. I don't know where these guys are going. Because now they're leaving a gap in between here. It's mostly guns, isn't it? With a few cavalry units. Could go ahead and try and break that. And seeing as though the enemy does not want to control this high ground, I will advance to take control of it. The enemy, I did think the enemy was going to be quite passive because, well, they got tons of guns. And they have been quite passive. Not very often you see this sort of reorganization where they all mess up like this. Would be nice to bounce some shots through all that mess as the AI is being stupid. Right, now my horse-drawn artillery is coming to set up. Poor response by the AI, I must say. Quite unfortunate. Although it will make for a quick victory. Right, horse-drawn guns ready. I believe so, monsieur. Well then, set your guns ready. I could order them to run up the hill, but I'm worried they run out of all stamina before they get up the top. Currently these units of cavalry are coming dangerously close. Better off forming that one into square. And I'm gonna order this one to hold and fire at will. Oh, that's too early. You will also hold and fire at will. Not too early. Or it could have been the square, actually. Will order Izzy to stop? No. Izzy will continue on his march. Right, Fusiliers continue forward. Let's organize the guards. And the lights. The enemy is now moving into position here. In line. So let's move in. And meet them. And the cavalry moving forward on this side as well. I've moved most of my cavalry over to this side, but I forgot to move them forward. The order was not given. Right, the enemy's infantry is coming really close here. Oh, that's, I thought that was general. That is lancers. I'm gonna form into two squares there. Right, the old guard has passed. Let's order the horse-drawn artillery to open fire. The squares dealt with the cavalry, and now the light troops will be moved forward. Perfect timing to someone to call me, which we're not gonna answer. I think most of the light troops should actually make it down on this side to give room for the guard units to move into position and be able to fire. We'll skirmish a little bit with these guys before we pull the skirmishers back and allow the old guard to go in and attack. I want concentrated artillery fire towards the center to really hammer that spot. Cavalry attacking, and I'm just in time to form square. And we've got the Imperial Guard. It's going to open fire on that. It's going to risk, of course, shooting our own troops, but it's probably better than nothing. Oh yes, these guys should hold fire, as they just took a big chunk out of the guys in front of them. Oh, the unit broke. Lost about half its manpower. The cavalry unit was broken as well. Here comes another cavalry attack. Multiple cavalry units going in. Let's form square with this one. And I want to move the lights here. And then you will move aside so that I can bring these four forward into the attack. The general got killed. Well, he shouldn't have been there then. Skirmishers are doing enough, holding off the enemy at the front. Izzy and... Ooh, Izzy just destroyed the Freikorps. Freikorps cavalry, the hussars, smashed. The musketeers, smashed. The militia battalion, smashed. Prussians, smashed by the old guard. Destroyed. More and more of them getting smashed over here. Hussars moved into the attack. Take out those two batteries before they deal significant damage to us. Looks like I will be able to defeat the Prussian force before the Prussians, before the reinforcements even arrive. At this rate, and I will not even be necessary to order in the regular troops from this side into the fight. But yeah, you can drop square now. You're probably just shooting these guys in the back. Heavy cavalry squadron. Looks like we won't be able to break that one before he reaches us, so we'll be ordered into square. I will order these guys forward, followed by the lights here. Where is he going? Form square. Form square. The hussar dealt with that one. Continue onwards. The rest of the cavalry will follow. This area, of course, is where all my cannon shots are landing as well. Actually, I want you to fire on that. You could fire on that. And where do we have my hussars? Hussars go after that one, destroy that. I perhaps shouldn't be advancing too hard because the reinforcement might still turn up. It's a little bit of a ridge, so we'll organize the troops that way. Alright, you can drop square, start advancing, drop square, advancing, drop square, advancing. Okay, you're gonna have to hold back as the troops are now fighting here. Prussians in full retreat. Don't want the Prussians to leave though, so time to destroy them completely, ordering in the cavalry on either side. Should now make it towards the center there and destroy what's left. This went a lot better than I thought. Okay, there are some reinforcements now turning up in the very back of the field, but it's way too late because I have completely made a mockery of the first line. I will order the heavy guns to be firing at the very edge there, and these guns will be moved. Okay, now they're all running now. General dying early on certainly didn't help him. I'd say, oh, there's one unit that is actually standing, and it's this musketeer unit. It's holding the rear guard for the rest of them. Then I order you to run. Clearly not everyone is on the run. Okay, organize into line here because there's cuirassiers on the way. I do have my own cavalry on the way to face them. Okay, they're coming straight at you. Jipilu's lancers can wheel and attack them in the back, as it looks like they're going for the lights instead. And now they're caught in between squares, and the cavalry has now arrived to take care, make sure that I do not have to fight this army again. Looks like the enemy reinforcements coming through there. Well, I'd say then that I have certainly won this battle, and we should move on to possibly doing another one, because this went so well. We'll see what the Danzig area has in store for us. I don't think I will be ending turn this time around, and it could be that this enemy force right here decides to leave rather than stand and fight, giving me the victory very soon. But yeah, we were able to quite effectively destroy the entire enemy force. I don't like the fact that I ordered my guns to fire at the ground all the way back here. I don't know why we've got cannon shots landing here, unless it is from the enemy guns. We should pull the guns up forward as well. Right, unless something spectacular happens, this has been the battle, and we were spectacularly victorious. Ah, well, look at this. The AI has realized that the battle is over, and as soon as the unit reaches the field, it orders it to retreat. You can see there, it orders a retreat immediately. So yeah, I've won the battle. Turns out I spoke too soon. The enemy does have some fight in them left, and we have a sizable force that actually takes to the battlefield. Now, it's not enough, but it's enough to create a little bit of a fight here, actually. Where we have a suicide Lancer charge. That's friendly guns. For some reason, one of my batteries down here decided to shoot the other one. So I only have one of the ground batteries. I don't know what the enemy is trying to do here. But I will counter him by ordering in bayonet charges. Let's end this today. And have the batteries on the hill fire at the militia. And it looks like it's another cavalry unit moving forward. When he's in the perfect range, we'll open fire. And it devolves into a massive melee as the old guard is ordered forward to clear the way. This unit's getting completely bombarded by wonderful position that I managed to get up on this hill. If the enemy had advanced here, and I'd be able to release canister on them. I mean, who could tell how many casualties would have been? Right, they're all in flight now. They're all in flight. Actually, one light unit holds on, but otherwise they're all in flight. The old guard is about to overwhelm. We have one cuirassier unit turning up over there. Let's order a halt here. Get the units into line. And we can get the rest of the army into line here. Get the lights up as well. But now then, it must be over. Except for that one cavalry unit, and there's another straggling cavalry unit coming through there. But now, I think I can safely say that there will be no more hiccups. We are victorious. My counting was very much off. I thought the enemy numbered around 8,000 men. However, it seems my scouts were mistaken. There were 10,000 Prussians, and they did make quite an fight, actually, because in the end I ended up losing 2,000 men out of my 7,000, which means that I have 5,000 men remaining. However, though, comparatively, again, the enemy having 10,000 lost 6,000, having 4,000 men remaining. 4,000 too many, though, but I couldn't really catch up to them as they retreat. A lot of them retreated as soon as they entered into the field. Highest killers, it's quite even throughout. There's no one that really sticks out a lot. So it's Old Guard. 4 units of Old Guard that top the chart, followed by what's the second grenadier? Is that Izzy's Grenadiers, I think? Ended up in 5th place. So all actually infantry. Cuirassiers or cavalry doesn't end up until down here. Although they, comparatively, if we look at this, deployed 64, lost 6, killed 245. That's kind of a lot. There we have it. We were victorious, and hopefully here I will have broken the siege. Yes, I did. And Napoleon gains wonderful replenishment, so he should be back in action in the next turn. The only thing regrettable here is perhaps that I won't be able to follow up on this and absolutely destroy all of these armies. However, Prussia is very much now on its last legs, holding, well, it's got 2 provinces, 1 for each leg, so it's not looking good. Wealth is meager, power is strong. Now, comparatively, our power is terrifying. So, strong, that's a bit like, I can't think of something right now, but yeah, there's nothing really comparative about that. When we want to look over at the Austrians, though, they're also meager in terms of wealth. I don't know, they might have a revolution soon, since they can't pay for all their troops. Here's the capital, their current capital. Minus 30 due to all unrest. Nothing to do with the fact that they have no money, but I'm sure we'll see problems from that soon. Oh, I didn't touch on it, but of course my Hungarians joined in against the Austrians, and the Austrians were quick to put them back into the fold. So unfortunately the Hungarian state was short-lived. Hopefully we'll be able to set that one up again. Well, the battle up here took a lot longer than I thought. Well, there was a lot of reinforcements. Hopefully, for the next one, we'll be able to gather more troops for a single battle, rather than having these battles with reinforcements. They are the ones that take time to complete, comparatively to 40 versus 40. But enough of that. There's nothing really more to say, more than for the current we have already decided, or no, we haven't decided yet, but well, it's more or less decided. It seems like it's Shogun 2 that is leading in the polls with close to 46%, I believe, unless it has changed. Usually it doesn't. One go up in the lead very early on and usually stay there. So it looks like it's Shogun 2 that's going to be the next one. We'll see what kind of mod or whatever we decide to do with that. But enough of everything. It's time for me to take a look at this battle and see if I can get some good close-up shots of it. And I will be saying to you guys, as always, hopefully you enjoy this, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.